Dr. Shingte from Tira College of Education. Roll number 38. My topic for seminar is the measures of central tendency. Let us see what is the meaning of central tendency. If we have some scores and we have arranged these scores which are in scale in ascending or descending order, the score which are nearer to the center of the scale, this tendency of the scores is called as the central tendency. And these measures of central tendencies are the representative of the scores. We can use this central tendency to compare two or more groups or students from more than two groups. There are three measures of central tendency, and these are mean, median and mode. Let us see about the first measure of central tendency, and that is the mean. In arithmetic language, mean is the average of the scores. If we have some scores, we have to do addition of all the scores, and this addition or the sum of all scores should be divided by the number of scores, and that is the average. So mean is the average, and mean is denoted by the capital M. Let us see how to calculate mean when the data is ungrouped. The formula for such type of calculation of mean is equal to summation of scores. X is the scores, and this summation is divided by the total number of scores, where summation of x is the summation of all scores, n is the total number of scores, and m is the mean. Now let us see one example here. Here scores of 5 students are given, and these scores are 51, 57, 60, 70 and 58. Now we have to calculate the mean of these given 5 scores. See, these scores are ungrouped. There is no group of these scores. Simple, we have to do addition of all these 5 scores. M is equal to 51 plus 57 plus 60 plus 70 plus 58, and this summation is divided by total number of scores, that is 5. And the mean for these ungrouped scores is 59.2. When the data is ungrouped, at that time the mean is the average. So this formula we have to use to calculate the mean for ungrouped data. Now let us see how to calculate the mean when data is grouped. There is one method to calculate the mean while data is grouped, and that method is called as the assumed mean method. The name method indicates that we have to assume one score as a mean. So formula for this calculation is mean is equal to AM plus summation of F into D divided by N into I. Let us see what is the meaning of this. AM, that is the short form of assumed mean. Okay, how to calculate this assumed mean? Assumed mean is the middle point of the mean class. We will see which will be the mean class. Summation of F into D, it means the summation of all products of frequency and deviation. F is equal to frequency, D is the simple deviation, I n is the total number of scores, and xm, it is the middle point of the class interval. Let us see one example for this. Now we will get the data as a class interval and the frequency only, and other activities we have to do other functions for using this given data. So class intervals are given here from 85 to 89, that is the highest class interval, and the 45 to 49 is the lowest class interval, and the frequencies are given here, and the total number of scores is the 50. Now how to find out the class for mean? For that we have to consider the class which has highest frequency. See here, the highest frequency is 10, and the class for that highest frequency is 60 to 64. So we have to consider the middle point of this class as a xm, assume mean, and the middle point of this class 60 to 64 is 62. So the assumed mean for this given data is 62. Okay. Now how to find out? According to the formula, there is need to find out the simple deviation. So the next column should be deviation. So for that, highest frequency, the class which has highest frequency always has deviation 0, and the upper classes from the mean class has the positive deviations, and the lower classes from the mean class have the negative deviation. Okay, so one by one the deviation for the mean class is 0, the upper one has 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and for the lower one only 3 lowest classes are there. So -1, -2 and the -3. Okay. Now according to the formula, there is need of calculation or the multiplication of frequency and deviation for each and every class interval. So we have to do the multiplication, product of this frequency and the deviation. So 2 into 5, 10, 2 into 4, 8, 4 into 3, 12, 7 into 2, 14, 6, 1, 6, 0, -8, -12 and -15. Now according to formula, there is need of summation of all these products. So first we have to do the summation of the all positive scores and the summation of all negative scores, and the summation of these scores is, that is the summation of f into d is equal to 15. Okay. Now how to calculate I, that is the class interval. Always think that take the highest score of one class and the lowest score of the next class, that is 85 and 80. So 85 minus 80 is equal to 5. So class interval for this data is 5. Now let us put the values in the formula. Okay, as I told you that A, that is assuming, that is the middle point class of the class interval of highest frequency. So the assumed mean is 62, I is 5, summation of frequency and deviation is 15, n is the total number of scores and it is 50. The formula is mean is equal to assumed mean plus summation of frequency into deviation, and this product, summation of these products is divided by total number of score into class interval. Now let us see, let us put the values. AM is 62, summation of F into D is 15, total number of score is 50 and the class interval is 5. So the 62 plus 1.5 so mean for this given grouped data is 63.5. Okay. Now this is the another sum for this for homework. Only this data will be provided to you to solve the sum for this. Okay. Let us see the next measure of central tendency. Okay, first that let us see about the combined mean. If we have groups more than 2 and we have to find out the mean for these groups, we have to find out the combined mean for that, and that is denoted as the M-COM, that is mean, combined mean. And the formula for this is N1, M1 plus N2, M2. Likewise, and it is divided by the number of scores in that particular group, N1 plus N2, like this. Okay, M-COM is the combined mean. N1, N2 are the number of scores in each group. M1, N2 is the mean of each group. Okay, let us see one sum for that. Compute the combined mean of two groups of 20 and 30 students respectively and having mean 40 and 55 respectively. Okay, let us see. The mean is given for two groups, that is 20 and 30. The students in first group are 40 and second group 55 according to formula mean multiplied by the number of scores plus mean multiplied by number of scores, and it is divided by the N1 plus N2, that is 30 plus 20. Okay, multiplication of 20 into 40 is 800 and 30 into 35 is the 1650 and it is divided by 50. So the summation of these two scores is the 2450 and it is divided by 50, and the combined mean for given data for two groups is 49. So we can calculate the combined mean for more than two groups with the help of this formula. Okay, this is the our lecture. We have learned in this lecture about the measures of central tendency, meaning of central tendency, and the one measure of central tendency, that is the mean and the combined mean, and how to calculate mean while data is ungrouped and data is grouped. There are different methods, two methods that we have learned today. Thank you. Okay.